And we are back. NFL predictions week 11 edition. To quickly recap last week, I ended up going 8-6, putting my season total up to 106, 42-1. Getting my lock of the week wrong for the first time this season, picking the Panthers, and well, they lost. To quickly recap the teams that lost, we had the Browns, Jets, or the games I got wrong. We got the Browns, Jets, the Saints, Panthers, the Patriots, Buccaneers, Bills, Dolphins, Jaguars, Texans, and Eagles, Packers. All right. With all that being said, starting out all games in Eastern time, we had 8:15 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday. We have the 2-7 Jets at the Patriots, who are 8-2. The Jets coming off of a win over the Browns, while the Patriots coming off of a win over the Buccaneers. To simply put, I think one of these teams are one of the best in the league, and I think one of these teams are one of the worst in the league. With that being said, obviously the Patriots are the one I think are the best. They're 8-2, the others 2-7. I'm taking the Patriots, and I'm not really thinking twice about this. Next, we have the Commanders and Dolphins, both of them 3-7, November 16th, 9:30 a.m., our final international game of the year. I believe they said this is in Spain. I could be wrong. I'm going to take the Dolphins here. The Dolphins looked very good against the Bills, and with the Dolphins, with the Commanders having a backup quarterback and just not really looking very good this year compared to the Dolphins, who are kind of looking like they are on a hot streak or getting hot. I'm going to take the Dolphins. Moving on to our 1 o'clock game, we have the Packers at 5-3-1 and Giants, who are 2-8. The Packers coming off of a 10-7 loss over the Eagles, where the Giants are coming off of a 24-20 choke job against the Bears, and the Giants did fire head coach Brian Daboll after the game. Now, the key thing to note about this game is Jackson Dart is not expected to play. They actually announced that if he isn't going to play, it's going to be Jameis Winston, their third-string guy, skipping right over Russell Wilson. So, this could be a very different team. Jameis Winston, we obviously know who he is. He's a very, mistake-prone guy, but he's also a big play guy, so depends on what kind you get. I'm going to take the Packers, though. Next, we have Texans and Titans. Texans are 4-5. Titans are 1-8. Texans coming off of a come-from-behind win over the Jaguars, 36-29, while the Titans coming off of a bye week. The Titans have one win for a reason. The Texans are, I think, one of the better teams in the league. They just had a really tough schedule. I'm taking the Texans here to get what should be an easy win for them. Panthers 5-5, Falcons 3-6. The Panthers coming off of a 17-7 loss to the Saints, while the Falcons coming off of a 25-31, I want to say, something like that, loss to the Colts in Germany. I'm taking the Falcons here. The Falcons have just looked better. The Panthers look very reliant on Rico Dowdle. If he doesn't play well, they don't play well. And I think the Falcons are going to be able to stop him and, in turn, stop the Panthers. So give me the Falcons. Next, we have the Bears, who are 6-3, who are coming off of a win over the Giants, 24-20, come from behind, while the Vikings, 4-5, quite the opposite, losing 27-19 to the Ravens. I'm going to take the Vikings here. The Bears have gotten very lucky these past few weeks with their wins, just barely skating by, looking very frisky. Meanwhile, the Vikings, even though they just lost, they've looked like a pretty capable football team with J.J. McCarthy so far. Even though he didn't play well against the Ravens, able to keep it close. So I'm going to take the Vikings in this one, but I do think this is going to be a very low-scoring game, unfortunately. Chargers at 7-3. Coming off of a win over the Steelers, 25-10 on Sunday night, at the Jaguars, who are 5-4, coming off of a loss to the Texans. I'm going to take the Jaguars here. I don't know why I'm compelled to do that. I just think the Jaguars are going to pull off an upset win here. I think the Chargers are looking too good that they're going to make an easy mistake that they shouldn't. Meanwhile, the Jaguars, they lost a game that they definitely shouldn't have, and I think they're going to have a heavy talk and come into this next game with a different mindset, and it's going to be enough to get them to win. Next, we have the Buccaneers, who are 6-3, and the Bills, who are 6-3, both coming off of losses. Buccaneers to the Patriots, Bills to the Dolphins. I'm going to take Buffalo here. I think the whole game is going to be decided based on where this is played. With it being played in Buffalo, one team thrives in the heat in Tampa Bay and Florida. The other team in, Buffalo, New York, all the way up towards Canada, where it's all nice, cold, and snowy. I think that's going to be the difference, so I'm going to take the Bills. Finally, we have the Bengals and Steelers. Bengals 3-6, Steelers 5-4. The Bengals, they were on a bye week while the Steelers lose one to the Chargers 25-10. I'm going to take the Bengals here. They had the bye week to prepare. They beat the Steelers last time. Their offense has looked dominant. And a Steelers offense that has looked questionable, their defense might be able to actually help out the offense and get them to win. We obviously know what's been going on. There's the Bengals locker room is split into two. I think this is going to be one of those games where it kind of shows that both sides need to take initiative. Obviously, the offense is doing their part. I think the defense is finally going to step up. So give me the Bengals. 4:05 p.m. games, we got two of them. 49ers 6-4, Cardinals 3-6. The 49ers losing to the Rams. Yes. And then the Cardinals losing to the Seahawks or vice versa. I'm going to take the Cardinals here as an upset. I think the Cardinals are going to be able to beat down on the injured 49ers. I think this is going to be a very close game, but I think the Cardinals are going to barely squeak away with the win. And I don't think it's going to be considered a win. I think this is going to be one where it's like, oh, both teams should have lost this game. Got the other NFC West games, Seahawks, Rams, both of them 7-2, both of them coming off of dominant wins over their other division foes we just talked about. This game is probably going to decide, it is for the moment, who leads the NFC West. But I do think come end of December, it's going to have a lot of playoff implications. I'm personally going to take the Rams here. The Seahawks have played well, yes, but the Rams have just been have been doing it longer. I mean, this is the same team who made the Super Bowl a few years back and won it. Meanwhile, the Seahawks still have a quarterback who's first year in the system, a young head coach. I think the Rams are going to barely win this one. I do think this is going to be an excellent game, though, so should be fun to watch. 4:25, we got two of them. Chiefs, Broncos. Chiefs 5-4, Broncos 8-2. Chiefs off of a bye week. Broncos 10-7 win over the Raiders on Thursday night. I'm taking the Chiefs here. Even though the Chiefs have the worst record, their wins have been good. Their losses have been close. The Broncos, on the other hand, yes, their losses have been close, but their wins have been lackluster at best. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. One sec. We got a cat joining us. Hello, Abu. Give me the Chiefs. Ravens, Browns. The Ravens 4-5, coming off of a win over the Vikings. Brown 2-7, coming off of a loss to the Jets. I'm going to take the Ravens here. The Ravens, they get their quarterback back, and they've looked dominant so far. The Browns, no matter who's their quarterback, they struggle. This is just a rough team. The Browns, I think, are going to be picking top 3 in, April? So Ravens, I mean, they're right there for the AFC North again. So that's crazy that they started the season 1-5, and they're already right here. Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. Lions 6-3, Eagles 7-2. Both teams coming off of wins. The Lions dominant over the Commanders. Wow, the Eagles, they pull off a 10-7 win over the Packers on Monday night. Not pretty, but a win is a win. I'm taking the Lions, though. I think with how the Eagles played last week, I think they're definitely going to struggle. I think they're going to do miles better, but I do think the Lions are probably going to win this one by multiple scores, honestly, like 10 points. So I'm taking the Lions. And Monday night, Cowboys, Raiders. Cowboys 3-5-1 at Raiders 2-7. The Cowboys coming off of a bye week. All the Raiders lose 10-7 to the Broncos on Thursday night. I'm taking the Cowboys. They're one of the best offenses in the league. Meanwhile, the Raiders struggle both sides of the ball, so I think the Cowboys are going to be able, even with their subpar defense so far, going to be able to hold the Raiders to, enough points to where they can, I honestly think, comfortably win. So much so that I saved the best for last. Give me them as my lock of the week. If you don't know what lock of the week is, I explain it every week. It's basically the Eliminator Challenge on ESPN, but you don't get eliminated if you lose. Every week you're allowed to pick one team. You can't pick that team again once you pick them. If they win, great. If not, then, well, you suck. So, yeah. Give me the Cowboys. The teams on the bye week are the Colts and the Saints at 8-2 for the Colts and 2-8 for the Saints. To quickly recap my picks, we have the Patriots, Dolphins, Packers, Texans, Falcons, Vikings, Jaguars, Bills, Bengals, Cardinals, Rams, Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, and Cowboys all winning with the Cowboys as the lock of the week. If I didn't say your team name, it means they're losing unless they're the Colts or the Saints, like I said on the bye week. Looking at the playoff picture, no teams have been eliminated or clinched yet, but we're getting kind of close. the Patriots are actually close to knocking both the Jets and Dolphins out of that contention for that division. So they got to be careful. Same with the Eagles on Giants. There's a few. The Broncos on the Raiders. So yeah, but no one's clinched. The 1 seeds are the Colts at 8-2 and Eagles 7-2. The 2 seeds being the Broncos and Seahawks at 8-2 and 7-2. The 7 seeds who would play the 2 seeds are the Jaguars at 5-4 and the Packers at 5-3-1. The 3 seeds being the Patriots at 8-2 and the Lions at 6-3. The 6 seeds who play the 3 seeds are the Bills 6-3 and Bears 6-3. The 4 seeds being the Steelers and Buccaneers. Steelers 5-4, Buccaneers 6-3, and then the 5 seeds who play the 4 seeds are the Chargers 7-3 and the Rams who are 7-2. That is going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.